Hi guys! Hey, sup? So, I'm stand-in today. That's exciting. The time has finally come. I decided last year to do this, and I figured it was probably a good idea to do it again this year just because a lot of things have changed. Today I'm going to be doing my updated bookshelf tour for 2015. Since my last bookshelf tour in 2014, a lot of things have changed. Everything has changed, you might say. I'm in a different room. I switched rooms in my house, so I don't have the orange background anymore. I also got another bookcase, which you can't see in the background of this one, but I'll show it to you, of course. I now have close to 150 books. I actually got rid of a lot of books. Some of the books you'll see in the previous bookshelf tour are not in this one because I don't have them anymore, and I don't care. There are a lot of books in this new one that I did not have last year. I decided to kind of do my bookshelf tours end of May, beginning of June annually, just because like there are a lot of books that I like to buy in May, and it feels like a good time now because I'm home and I'm not lending out any books. They're all in one place, and it's just nice to do a little bookshelf tour to show you how I've changed in the past year. Hopefully you like it. It's a fun time. I have a lot of books. I'm sorry. This is gonna be long. So let's get started. Alright, so first we're going to start with a quick little overview of both of my bookcases. Obviously this is my old one, my first bookcase, the love of my life. And yeah, it's pretty large and pretty full. I no longer have to do Tetris, so yeah, that's pretty exciting. This is my second bookcase, my new bookcase. It's very pretty. I like it a lot. It has most of my series on it. Alright, so we're starting at this bookcase. And we're starting all the way at the top, right up here. So, all the way up here, I don't know how well you can see it, I have my Taylor Swift shrine. Kind of. Most of my Taylor Swift stuff is up here, excluding my Red Tour program. All the way on the left we have Fearless Platinum, Speak Now, Red, and 1989. They're all her CDs that I have. I obviously have her first album, but I just bought it on iTunes. And then of course I have my Red Tour bracelet. I have some other bracelets that have nothing to do with Taylor Swift. This is my LeakyCon one, and this is my 2013 graduates. Senior class one. And then of course I have this lovely flower that Madian made me. That is my Taylor Swift shrine. So the next shelf, like I said, this is kind of my series bookcase, so I have series and authors that I really love on here, and the mass media paperbacks fit well together. So this is kind of like my high fantasy shelf. On the left we have the Sword of Truth series by Terry Goodkind. The books that I have on this shelf are Stone of Tears, Blood of the Fold, Temple of the Winds, Soul of the Fire, Faith of the Fallen, The Pillars of Creation, Naked Empire, and Chainfire. I have read 4 books in this series. I have not read Soul of the Fire on, and I'm currently rereading Temple of the Winds to get into Soul of the Fire, but it hasn't been going very well. I do have other books in this series, but they're not on this shelf. To your right, we have the Song of Ice and Fire series by George R.R. Martin. And let me point out that since my last video, I have finished all of them. So we have A Game of Thrones, A Clash of Kings, A Storm of Swords, A Feast for Crows, and A Dance with Dragons. My personal favorite is A Storm of Swords. As for my memorabilia stuff, this is a block of wood with Laura's face on it. I did it in my photo class this past semester, and basically it's liquid light, so you put the emulsion on the wood and then expose it. And then, of course, all the way over here we have Daenerys Targaryen. I was given this by Civi for my birthday last year, and she looks adorable next to all my George R.R. Martin books. And then, of course, finally I have my Dragon Egg paperweight. Got it with my Game of Thrones DVD set. No shame. So, that is my top shelf area. It's exciting, I know. Next, my second shelf on this bookcase. These are kind of my childhood books series. All the way on the left we have the series of Unfortunate Events. I have been collecting these for about a year now, and I finally have all of them, and it looks great. I think the colors are wonderful to look at. The Bad Beginning, The Reptile Room, The Wide Window, The Miserable Mill, The Austere Academy, The Ersatz Elevator, The Vile Village, The Hostile Hospital, The Carnivorous Carnival, The Slippery Slope, The Grim Grotto, The Penultimate Peril, The End. I have read all of these, but I haven't read any of them recently. The last one I was rereading was the second one, so I have a ways to go on my reread. The next series I have in here is part of the Septimus Heap series. I've only read the first 3 books in the series. I think there are 7, but I read them when I was in like middle school and I really liked them. So I'm hoping to finish it one day. I have to do more rereading on that, but the Septimus Heap series that I have is Magic, Flight, Physic, and Quest. And finally, all the way at the very end over here is my Narnia Collection. I got a bind up of all 7 books because it's easier than using my mom's old collection that looks really gross that isn't even mine. The Chronicles of Narnia are The Magician's Nephew, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Can I remember these? Voyage of the Dawn Treader, The Silver Chair, The Horse and His Boy, The Last Battle, Prince Caspian, but not in that order. This is my second shelf. Woo! So the next shelf that I have is obviously my Harry Potter shrine shelf. All the way on the left is my LeakyCon 2012 program booklet thing. I keep it there to remind me of the good times I had there. The next one is What Will Happen in Harry Potter 7. It's very old. I got it for my 12th birthday, but I can't get myself to get rid of it. The next one is The Magical Worlds of Harry Potter, and it kind of is a non-fictional book that kind of analyzes parts of Harry Potter, like mythology and stuff like that. So after that, of course, is the Harry Potter series. I have The Sorcerer's Stone, The Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, and right before the last one is the Tales of Beedle the Bard. Finally, my 2 copies of Deathly Hallows, my favorite book ever. This one is special because Emily gave it to me and it's the British edition, the new British edition. I haven't read a British edition ever, so this is like my prized possession and it's beautiful. As for the memorabilia, all down here, I have my Hermione wand, I have my Part 2 glasses that I wore at midnight. I also have this platform 9 3/4 lanyard ticket thing. My good friend Hannah went to London a couple months ago and she brought it back for me and I'm eternally grateful. Then finally I have my Horcrux ring that my friend Brenna made for me, and she made it a long time ago, but it's reminiscent of Riddle's ring in Half-Blood Prince. And then of course I have these game pieces from Harry Potter Seen It. Yup. I'm cool, guys. That is my Harry Potter shelf. It looks beautiful. This is obviously my Cassandra Clare shelf. Oh wow, books are out of order. That's awkward. On the left we have the Mortal Instruments series. Right now they're out of order. The first 2 are switched. But anyways, the TMI series is City of Bones, City of Ashes, City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, and City of Heavenly Fire. And then to the right, the thing that I didn't really have last year is the rest of the Infernal Devices series. So the Infernal Devices are Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and my favorite, Clockwork Princess. I have a GA here that my friend Hannah made for me, and I put it on my Cassandra Clare shelf because the quote she put on it is, "Life is a book and there are 1,000 pages I have not yet read," which is from Clockwork Princess, I think. I think again it's pretty obvious what I have down here. This is my Rick Riordan collection. All my Rick Riordan books and swag are down here. All the way on the left we have Percy Jackson's Greek Gods. I got this book signed because I was a part of the Blood of Olympus campaign that they had going on. The next one I have is The Last Olympian. I also have this one signed. My aunt got it signed somehow. I don't really know how, but it's signed, so that's cool. Right next to that we have the Heroes of Olympus series. So we have The Lost Hero, The Son of Neptune, The Mark of Athena, The House of Hades, and The Blood of Olympus. I also have The Blood of Olympus signed because, again, I was in that campaign. The memorabilia I have for this collection is a Heroes of Olympus Frisbee, and then right next to that I have 2 pins that they sent me. One of them is for Camp Half-Blood and the other one is for Camp Jupiter. Then all the way on the right is a candle thing that, again, my friend Hannah gave to me for Christmas. She made it. She painted it all herself. I guess that's it. That's it for my series shelf. We still have another bookshelf to do. This is my second bookshelf. It's a little less organized than the other one. If you look all the way in the corner, that is a portrait of me that my friend Lexi painted. She gave it to me for Christmas this year and it's adorable and I love it. And it has my camera with me, so that's pretty cool. This CD right here is the first CD that I actually photographed for. I took this picture. I took the other pictures in there. It's for this girl named Betsy Lane. She's like the coolest person ever. If you love Taylor Swift, definitely check her out. She's adorable. And then I have some other things, like my Game of Thrones box is back there. I have a candle. I have a Barnes & Noble bear from ages ago. And then I have some books that my mom lent me. So that is my very tippy top. Alright, now we make our way down to the first shelf of books. This one I don't really have organized very well. It's mainly just like single books in a series. Most of this shelf is organized by height. All the way on the right we have Uninvited by Sophie Jordan. I also have a lot of signed books on this shelf. Uninvited is one of them. Next to that I have Allegiant by Veronica Roth. That is another one I got signed. Ignite Me by Tahada Mafi. Again, signed. Rune and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. Third book in the Grisha trilogy. I have this one signed as well. I have Into the Still Blue, the third book in the Under the Never Sky series. I have that one signed. Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I have not read this book yet, but it's on my TBR and I'm hoping to read it soon. Next we have the Control duology by Lydia Kang. Control and Catalyst. Catalyst is my favorite. Next is my copy of Throne of Glass. I didn't put it with my other Throne of Glass books because of the height issue. From a Distant Star by Karen McQuestion. I have this one signed, and I recently did a review of that, so check that out. The House of the Scorpion by Nancy Farmer. Another book I haven't read. Next we have Mind Games by Kirsten White. I have also gotten this one signed, met the author, she's pretty cool. And finally, my copy of The Final Empire, Mistborn, Book 1 by Brandon Sanderson. I haven't read this one, but it's the British edition, so it's pretty. The last thing on this shelf is my Memorabilia, my signed paper by Laini Taylor that I got with Dreams of Gods and Monsters, and it looks beautiful. I framed it. I had a frame lying around and I thought, hey, this will add some pizzazz to my bookshelf, and it does. We are making our way downtown. Faces past and I'm homebound. This is my second shelf. This is mostly series. Actually, it's all series. All the way on the left we have Lisa McMahon's Dreamcatcher series. That's Wake, Fade, Gone, and I recently just finished reading Gone. I have a series review up of this one if you want to check it out. Next, of course, is my Twilight series. So I have Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn. Next, we have my Lunar Chronicles collection. I have Cinder, Scarlet, and Cress. And then the next ones we have are my Angel Fall series by Susan E. So I have Angel Fall, World After, and End of Days. It's one of my favorite series. If you haven't read it, please read it. It's so good. The next one is my unfinished Martire collection. I have The Evolution of Martire and The Retribution of Martire, both of which are signed copies, so that's pretty cool. It's one of my favorite series. I don't have the first one, but it's okay. I'll live. After that, we have the Darkest Minds series. It goes The Darkest Minds, Never Fade, In the Afterlight. It's a sentence. It's cool. Finally, all the way on the end is my Hunger Games collection. It goes The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and Mockingjay. I think you know what those are. That is my series shelf. On to the next one. So this one is similar to the last shelf. It kind of has series, but it's mainly grouped by height. All the way on the left we have my last books in my Sword of Truth series. I got these ones really big, so they didn't really fit on the other shelf. This is the first one, Wizard's First Rule, Phantom, and Confessor, which are the last two books in the series. Next is the rest of my Sarah J. Maas collection. Court of Thorns and Roses. Again, this is a signed copy. The Assassin's Blade, Crown of Midnight, which is a signed copy, and Heir of Fire, which is also a signed copy. Next is my Laini Taylor collection. Daughter of Smoke and Bone, Days of Blood and Starlight, and Dreams of Gods and Monsters. The Fifth Wave and The Infinite Sea, both of which are by Rick Yancey, and they're really great books if you haven't read them. The third one comes out this fall, and I'm super excited. Then we have The Host by Stephanie Meyer, which is one of my favorite books of all time. Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. I did read this. I do have a review up. It's not my favorite, but it's not terrible. Then we have The Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling, which I still haven't read, and Sing You Home by Jodi Picoult, which is the only big Jodi Picoult book that I have. So yeah, these are my tall books. So next we're moving on to my contemporary shelf. This is mostly all my contemporaries. All the way on the left we have my Rainbow Rowell collection. I have Eleanor and Park and Fangirl. Next, I have Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Matson, The Last Song by Nicholas Sparks, My True Love Gave to Me, which is a compilation book edited by Stephanie Perkins and I haven't read it. I'm saving it for the holiday season in like December, but it's on my list. Then we have my Gail Forman books, which are all signed. Just One Day, Where She Went, and If I Stay. Next, we have my Sarah Dessen books. I got rid of a lot of them, so it's down to my 2 favorites. The Truth About Forever and Just Listen. Then we have my Deb Coletti collection. Say that 12 times fast. Deb Coletti collection, Deb Coletti. Honey Baby Sweetheart, Wild Roses, and The Fortunes of Indigo Sky. Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin somebody. This is one of my favorite contemporary books of all time. It's great. You should read it if you haven't. Then we have my Arc of Panic by Lauren Oliver. The 10th Circle by Jodi Picoult. And then we have my Colleen Hoover collection. Most of my Colleen Hoover books are on my Nook. Maybe Someday. And then the British covers of the Slammed series. Slammed, Point of Retreat, and This Girl. I finally read This Girl. I didn't do a review of it, but it wasn't my favorite of the series. It was cute at the end, but not my favorite. Finally, we have Shrinking Violet by Danielle Joseph, The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. Those are my contemporaries. So I don't know how well you can see me, but we're finally to my very last shelf, the bottom shelf of this bookcase. This is kind of my random area. There's a lot of like adult books and nonfiction. There's some Christian literature. There's some childhood books, so it's just a little bit of everything in here. All the way on the left, we have my copy of Les Miserables by Victor Hugo. I still am not done with it, don't judge. The Message, which is a Bible that is kind of reworded so that it makes sense to a teenager, kind of. His Princess by Sherry Rose Shepherd. Jesus Calling by Sarah Young. Then we have my C.S. Lewis collection. We have Mere Christianity, The Great Divorce, which is my fave C.S. Lewis book. It's so good. Then we have the Screwtape Letters, the Space Trilogy, which I still haven't read, Out of the Silent Planet, Paralandra, That Hideous Strength. Next we have some more Christian lit. Love Does by Bob Goff. Let Hope In by Pete Wilson. Next we have some more nonfiction type books. So we have Harriet History by Melissa Anelli. Into the Wild by John Krakauer. How Not to Write a Novel by Howard Middlemark and Sandra Newman. Again, I highly recommend that if you're a writer. The Last Lecture by Randy Pausch. We have a couple of classics. 1984 by George Orwell. East of Eden by John Steinbeck. Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. I just finished last night and it was weird. If on a Winter's Night a Traveler by Italo Calvino. The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. One of my favorites of the year so far. Inkheart by Cornelia Funk. Hoot by Carl Hiaasen. Holes by Louis Sacker. Sacker? Frindle by other authors. Anne of Green Gables by Lucy Maud Montgomery. I'm good at reading. The Tale of Despero by Kate DeCamillo. And finally, Children of the Lamp, The Akhenaten Adventure. That book that's still haunting me to this day. And that is it. That is my last bookshelf. Okay, that was my bookshelf tour. I know I have a lot of books, I'm sorry. Hopefully you're okay, you survived, you made it through, and if you like any of the books you see on here, definitely check them out. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again for another bookshelf tour in a year. Okay, see you in a year. Okay, bye. I'm getting weird now. Bye.